Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope you guys have a happy holidays and that today was great for you guys. It's been a minute since I've done this series, but I wanted to continue a series of mine called Am I the Villain? I wanted to focus on this, and mostly focus on a character from the festive spirit, because, as I just said earlier, it is literally the happy holidays. Today I've selected a mascot, you could say, of Christmas. No, it's not Santa. I don't consider him a villain, unless you consider him owning elves to be wrong. It could be considered slavery, I guess. But I'm not focusing on Krampus either. I'm going to focus on the guy who probably wants to be least known as a mascot of Christmas. The Grinch. Now, how do you think he would feel about this? Considering this guy really hates Christmas.
I hate Christmas!
And he's pretty cranky about it. So, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a novel written by Dr. Seuss, which focuses on how Christmas has become so commercialized, amplifying this with the Who's ridiculous presents for each other and all the gifts that they have, which they play with. The message of the story is that Christmas doesn't come from a box, but rather, Christmas comes from something else, and it's the spirit of being together and being thankful for the people around you. Now, the Grinch doesn't really know this, and he considers the fact that Christmas comes from a box and doesn't come from others, and he views it as such because Christmas in Whoville is very commercialized. It's very bright, it's very flashy, it's spending a lot of money on others. Now, why does the Grinch despise the whole season? And truth be told, no one fully understands the reason. Perhaps his head wasn't just screwed on right, or perhaps that his shoes were on just too tight. However, the reason I think most of all was that his heart was 2 sizes too small. And he stands atop his mount and watches the Who's, young and old, get ready for the holiday season as he grows irritated with their gifts and all their noise. And I don't really blame him for that. I mean, I think I'd lose my sanity at some point if I heard all that noise. Eventually, he decides he must stop Christmas from coming, but how? And so he comes up with a wicked plot. He must steal Christmas from the Who's and ruin it for them. And he disguises himself as Santa Claus, no doubt. So he goes and he steals in his robes, while a musical number plays, which I think is ridiculous, the fact that this guy is stealing from people who are sleeping in, like, completely innocent people, and there's a musical number playing. I just think that's a little ridiculous. But he steals and he robs, stripping the houses bare, and he lies to a little girl, which is truly villainous behavior, I guess you could say. And then he prepares to dump all the presents down into an abyss of sorts. However, upon realizing that sun is about to rise, he decides to wait, to watch the Who's, young and old, come out of their houses, crying, wondering why Christmas didn't come. But instead, the Who's, young and old, they join in hands and gather around, and they start singing. And they sing louder and louder. And he stands there amazed, and he stands there confused, wondering why, even still, they're happier. And then he comes and realizes that Christmas doesn't come from just a box, it comes from something more. And such, his heart changes, and he becomes, I guess you could say, a hero of sorts, and he he brings all the Who's their presents back down. Now, on to the fun part about this. Is the Grinch a villain? No, I really don't think so. I understand why he did what he did. Albeit he did commit crimes in the process of, stealing all the presents. Literally stealing is a crime, and breaking and entering among other things that he's done. He did what he did due to the annoyance that he felt towards the Who's with their celebration. They were incredibly loud, and I get why he hated Christmas. I mean, if I had to hear my entire neighborhood, just make loud noises for almost an entire month, and while they prepare for one day in which the noises will be the loudest, I'd probably lose my mind too. And I'd probably want to ruin Christmas for them in some manner so they don't celebrate it. However, the Grinch learns that Christmas doesn't come from just that, it comes from something more. I personally would say that the Grinch is more so of a gray character. He's not... I mean, I guess you could say that some of his actions were out of malice, but I don't really consider him to be truly a villain, but I also don't really consider him to be a good person. That's my personal take on it. However, in the end, just want to wish you guys a happy holidays and Merry Christmas for y'all. I hope that today was great for you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of this month as well as next year. I am very happy as a YouTuber to be sharing this with you guys, and I'm very happy that I was able to be part of your guys' lives if any of you guys watched me in the past. So I just want to thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well as a wonderful New Year. So yeah, I'm glad I got to spend this with you guys.
Blue Crab Productions. Blue Crab Productions. Blue Crab Productions. Crab Crab Productions. Productions. Blue Crab Product Blue Product Blue Crab Productions.